My boyfriend assumed I was into rough sex because of my race, and now I feel unsure about us. My boyfriend and I was going to have sex with each other. It was supposed to be my first time, but not his thing. Started off normal, kissing. Then he started pushing me on the bed and holding me down. No foreplay or anything. I was obviously shocked and scared because I didn't expect that. I was screaming stop and no, and he stopped. He looked confused and asked what was wrong. I told him, like, WTF, I thought we were going to go slow. He was still giving me a confused looks, and at that point, I was annoyed. I reminded him I was a virgin, so I would prefer to take things slow. He said he knows that, but he thought I'd like it rough. He also told me he's never been with a black girl before, and he thought black girls like rough sex. I was mad, and I said no, I'm not okay with rough sex, and I was mad he used a stereotype on me. I didn't want to have sex anymore, and I asked if he could just leave me alone. So he left. I'm just so confused. Like, how is this even real? I've never even heard of that as a stereotype. I don't know if it's a porn thing or not. I don't watch porn. Just not into it. But even if that's a thing, I'm mad. He just assumed things about me. He knows I'm a virgin, but he still was rough with me. I'm unsure now. BC, I don't know what else stereotypes he has about me. BC, I'm black. Edit, he's blowing up my phone, asking me if we can talk about things and saying sorry. I feel bad for not responding, but I keep thinking what else he thinks about me. I feel empty inside because he turned into another person when he got rough. He went from sweet to cold and scary. I think once I'm calm, I will talk to him. Edit, all of these messages have been overwhelming. I'm going to call him now and hear what he has to say. I will update after. Thanks for the advice. This has been very helpful. Okay, last update CUS. I can't make a new post and this is getting really cluttered with replies. So we talked for a while. I'm done with him. I read the comments and I decided to hear him out. I gave him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't mean to hurt me. He told me he thought black girls like it rough. BC, his friend's girlfriend, like that she's black and the porn he watches. I tried explaining how that's racist to think that and consent. He said he was sorry for rushing into it, but he was raised in a racist community, so give him a break. I tried explaining that's not an excuse to act out his fetishes on me, especially without asking. He got mad at me and I was too. We argued and then I broke up with him. I am really upset, RN. I thought he loved me, but I guess not. All I wanted was to share a special moment with him and he ruined it. I told my friend and she said to give him another chance, but I disagree. What he did was too weird and creepy for me to forgive him. Anyways, thanks for all the advice. I should have just broke up with him immediately, but oh well, too late now. You have a ton of answers, but also, I just want to say I'm proud of you. When I lost my virginity at 17, I wasn't as confident and assured as you are now. You knew how to communicate and you knew how to shut things down. That is a hard fucking skill, and I am proud of you for exercising it. I was thinking the same. Op has good confidence and self-esteem. A younger me would have struggled to have voiced my concerns so well, right? So glad she didn't lose her virginity to a racist who wants a break for being a racist. She deserves better. It can take so many years and multiple relationships for people to learn how to stand up to their partners and communicate without hesitation. That's so well said, and I agree. I came a long way. And comparing how I stood in my first relationship with how I stand in my current one, I guess I could say that I had no confidence at all. It really showed in my sexual relationships. I did many things against my will, things on which I wish I had stood up for myself more, and things I could have avoided if I just spoke out. Now I just consider it as a part of my life journey because obviously I can change my past. And also over time I developed boundaries. Learned how to stand up for myself and got better in communicating. I'm still not where I want to be, but I learned from my mistakes and every day I get more and more confident in my relationships and also in general. Same. Losing my virginity. I literally cried right afterwards and felt so horrible, but felt like I had to go with it because I didn't have self-esteem. The way you handled it is incredible. Also, fuck that guy. You deserve way better. I allowed myself to be the Asian fetish for too many white guys before recognizing it. Absolutely. I was raped as a teen and saying no wasn't enough, so I had to lie there and take it and have him walk me home. I said, "Why did you do that?" And he said, "I'm sorry, but that was the last it was spoken about. Wish I had your strength." Yes, I am so proud of OP. Are women finally getting more confident to advocate for their own sexuality? Or is Op a trailblazer among her generation? I can tell you that me nor my friends at age 20 would have handled this situation so well. I'm 30 for context and pretty clueless, but fascinated by today's teens. I'm so proud of Op too. I was 16 and didn't know I could voice my opinion, so I was forced into it. It took about 2 years to realize it was actually rape. It took 3 years to trust anybody in bed again. How is being black forceful sex? Women of color, especially black women, are frequently hypersexualized in different ways than white women. White women are often presented as pure, virginal, damsel in distress, etc. in media, while black women frequently fall into the hoe, ratchet, baby mama tropes which dehumanize them and stereotype them as receptive, exotic sexual objects, especially for Tabora sex. I'm an East Asian woman, and I've had people assume I would be subservient submissive because of my race, but I've never experienced anything like Op. I've read similar experiences from other black women before, though really sad. I know a gorgeous, beautiful, religious black woman who said she was so tired of Latino men trying to hit her up because Latino women wouldn't get sexual with them quickly. Well, neither would this religious black woman. She was tired of the assumptions that she would. In media, this manifests as the Jezebel Mammy dichotomy, whereby black women who are young are sexualized and considered sinners, and older black women are maternal and sexless. Definitely this. I remember learning about it when I took a gender studies elective at university. We still have such racist, sexist, and homophobic beliefs embedded in our societies. I've also heard of guys who fetishize Asian women because they look so young and the anime weeb hentai-obsessed culture surrounding them. It's like they want a real-world chance to bang a character from their favorite anime. Yeah, super gross. Racism and misogyny with a side of pedophilia. You would be surprised the amount of men who think that because I'm black, I like forceful sex. Sadly, it isn't uncommon for me to encounter these people. This is truly eye-opening to me. I would never have assumed this. Hypersexualization of black men and women is a very big thing in Western culture. He's watching too much porn. The strong black woman stereotype. We can handle anything because we're so strong. It's why we're often treated like crap. That's fucked up. I guess that explains that black women have a higher threshold for pain BS that is still present in some medical doctors. That's why a lot of black women die in childbirth. It's a thing. I suspected the author was black until she specified second guess was Asian, but she said rough specifically and not just generally kinky sex. And I think the stereotype for Asians is just weird and kinky sex rather than rough in particular. Around the world, black women are considered very tough, fierce, and even aggressive. Even as children, black children gender non-specific are often considered and treated as older than they are, both sexually and generally. Think of how people talked of Tamir Rice at the time of his death, and he was 12. Think of how black teenagers who are shot to death are talked about. Think how people about the black girls who are sexually assaulted, especially those that fought back and are punished for it. This image of black women specifically is a dangerous one. It's dangerous for men too, of course, but that's kind of addressed when talking about violence against black men. And we're talking about black women at the moment because it doesn't acknowledge black women's humanity and vulnerability and are often considered shields and martyrs when they shouldn't be if you've seen discourse advocating against calling black women strong. This is why it's a similar thing as why calling medical workers, essential workers and others heroes isn't actually beneficial for them. Anyway, since black women are considered aggressive and tough all the time, assuming we like rough sex too despite saying otherwise is in the same wheelhouse. IMO. That was my very first thought too. I'm reading this thinking to myself, what race just naturally insinuates you like rough sex? Never once have I looked at someone and thought, oh, she's black, she like rough sex. Or, oh hey, she's white, so she must be into this. How naive and dumb can people be? I'm reading this thinking to myself, what race just naturally insinuates you like rough sex? Yeah, only race I could think of naturally into rough sex would be ORCs. Black women are consistently treated worse than women of any other race in porn, especially when the dude is white. No, not everyone is treated poorly or treats black women poorly, but it's a pattern that's easily viewable and openly acknowledged. Why would you think any virgin is into rough sex? WTF. Also, I've never heard of that stereotype. Lots of red flags, to be honest. Okay, so he knows you're a virgin. But then he forcefully tried to have rough sex with you without any warning or discussion. Girl, there is something seriously wrong with him. Since we said you never had sex, then you have no sexual experience, so then why in the hell would you want it rough? Where would you even get that from? I don't like telling people to break up with someone, so I'm just going to say maybe sit him down and have a serious conversation with him about stereotypes and let him know that what you did was absolutely unacceptable and then he better not ever do that to another female. I'm assuming that the conversation where it goes will lead you to the right decision, what to do. But I know one thing. Literally, common sense would say, if I have never had sex, I wouldn't know if I like rough sex or not. But I know rough sex is not the way to introduce a young woman to her first sexual experience. Exactly. In what world is a virgin anxiously anticipating the day someone will manhandle her and take her virginity? How romantic. Assuming a virgin would want rough sex with no prior discussion because she's black. I'm so sad and mad for her. Praying she cuts ties now rather than later. No, just no. There's so much wrong here to unpack. Racism, misogyny, and pure ignorance that I don't even know where to start. I don't think you should give him another chance, and here's why. He didn't see you. He saw an object from porn. If he were indeed emotionally attached to you, he would have recognized that you were new at sex and what your general personality is like. He would have seen you as an individual in a vulnerable position. Instead, he saw something to stick his dick into. Even worse, he assumed that everyone with a specific skin tone shares specific sexual tastes. The lack of just everything you'd want in a boyfriend is overwhelming. No empathy, no kindness, no awareness of who you are, no desire to set up a mutually fulfilling sexual relationship. I can't imagine how frightening that must have been for you. I'd move on. Find a guy who really sees who you are and cares. Agreed. He's not healthy relationship material. Definitely. You do not want to lose your virginity to someone careless and dispassionate. He is like a car that is a lemon. You can depend on a lemon lot car more than him. And some misogynoir assholes will use ignorance as an excuse when they're testing what they can get away with. I have a dear friend who was with an abusive white guy for years and whose sexual preference was a slave rape fantasy. Oh, run, please. I'm so sorry that I actually have to agree with this. He knew your sexual past or lack thereof being a virgin, and he still let his own emotion, desire, preconceived notions guide his actions onto you. You were obviously hoping for something slow, sensual, comforting, and he stole that away from you in his selfish belief that color means intensity. I don't think I could give someone another chance if this was me. It's not only incredibly sexist, racist, but disrespectful. I'm not sure you want someone like that in your intimate life. I'm really sorry that this happened to you, especially considering that this was the first time you were going to have sex. As a fellow black woman who has unfortunately encountered this kind of bizarre behavior before, I would really encourage you to leave. In the past, I tolerated relationships with people that had unfounded and toxic stereotypes about my blackness. I thought I could educate them, or that with time and exposure they would eventually change their misconceptions. Surprise, surprise, they didn't. It is not your responsibility to help them grow out of their dumbfuckery, and you absolutely, unequivocally do not have to tolerate treatment like this. Like Laudica said, find someone who cares about you. This joker clearly doesn't. It sounds like he's eager not to have sex with you, but to reenact porn with you. It is dangerous to stay with this person who clearly does not understand your humanity even to the most basic level. I'm sorry to go there, but he truly might rape you and act like he doesn't understand how he hurt you. Please don't be alone with him again. If he's going to be like that, then that's a red flag. Stick with your gut and leave him behind. No girl or woman deserves to be treated like that. He sounds like a dangerous asshole. And the fact that he acted like that is downright scary and really toxic. The fact that he was being violent and trying to have his way with you by being forceful is worrying. Even if it wasn't your first time and you did like it rough, he would still be expected to talk to you about it and get consent. And the fact that he tried to justify his actions with his bullshit is downright dehumanizing and fucking stupid. His actions were horrendous. And even if it's his kink and the kind of porn he likes to watch, it's no excuse. As your boyfriend, he was supposed to care about you and make sure you felt safe, loved, and that you had a good experience your first time. But instead, he attacked you. I am so sorry that you had to experience that. Know that you deserve so much better. His behavior is a big red flag and personality. I hope that you don't give him a second chance, because his view of women, especially WOC, is scary. And when you decide to have sex for the first, second, and the 1000th time, consent, respect, and the desire to make the experience enjoyable for both of you is the bare minimum of what you should expect from a sexual partner. Again, I'm so sorry this happened to you. We as black women really go through a lot. Damn. I'm sorry you had to experience that. Sue, that's your ex now. Wait, so black women are supposed to like rough sex because of all the sexual violence they've historically been subjected to? WTAF? Hell no. Really sorry. OP, you don't deserve to go through that. Please cut this guy off, as he sounds genuinely scary. I'm black. I'm just rolling my eyes at those giving him a cookie for not raping you and wanting you to teach him to treat you like a human. I wonder at their motivations. He attempted to rape you. He's dangerous. Red flags. Dump him. What's with all these people saying he's just an idiot, forgive him, blah blah blah? I find those comments appalling. They're totally downplaying the damage done by these experiences. It is fucking scary to be unwillingly subjected to someone else's aggressive sexuality, especially when you're an inexperienced virgin. That's super fucked up and so sorry that happened to you. I don't even know what to say, except that I've heard white boys really like to be kicked in the balls. JK. But the thing is, even taking out the thing where he is abhorrently racist, it's not okay to assume beforehand that anybody ever wants to be aggressed in bed, even if you know for a fact that someone likes rough sex, because they're like, standing in the I like rough sex tent at a kink festival or something. Even someone super sexually experienced that you meet up with on the premise of having rough sex deserves a check-in first. Because if someone doesn't want rough sex in that specific instance, even if they want it in general, it's rape. Your boyfriend almost raped you, and if you have the courage to, you should tell him so. Jesus, you treated you like a damn animal. No warning or nothing. Black girl to black girl. Fucking run. Listen to all the people here, please. Yes, be the black girls who are sharing their own personal experiences. You're very young. You're emotional too right now, and maybe he will keep apologizing and doing cute, sweet shit to win you back. And you may think that he's really sorry and it was a one-time mistake, and then decide to give him another chance. But don't. He is not a child. His actions and presumption about you is characteristic of the type of person he is, of his own racism. I know it's hard to hear this, but trust me, there are even boys who date black girls just to brag to their dirtbag friends that he banged a black girl. Black girls have been overly sexualized everywhere, and from a very young age too, and your boyfriend is what you get when you couple that misogyny with ignorant, racist little shits. Do not give him another chance. Don't make that mistake. Break it off. Even if it hurts now, you'll know you're doing the right thing after a while. I'm so sorry for what happened to you. That is not how one needs their first time to be. Take care of yourself, X. Edit. I have read some other comments saying at least he stopped when you asked him to, so maybe he's still redeemable. Let me just tell you, just because he didn't rape you doesn't mean you should give him another chance. Why the fuck do we set such a low bar of decency for men? And others telling you to educate them? WTF? It's not your job to educate them. If you're visiting or living in some Asian or European country where they have little to no population of African descent, I'd understand educating them about your culture and life and daily struggles. But if you're from North America or UK and such, then fuck them. They're supposed to educate themselves about their fellow countrymen. He is fetishizing you, and it is 100 because of his own racism. Black women are hypersexualized in porn and even mainstream media. You need to dump him. Honey. You deserve so much better than this racist asshat. You in danger, girl. That is a huge red flag. Dump him and move on. There is no reason in 2020 for people to still face these dumbass thoughts about us black folks. Don't let him near you, he doesn't deserve you. Don't ever have sex with this guy. He's an asshole. It's not a stereotype I've heard before, but trying something potentially triggering like that without discussing with you first is majorly not cool. Considering you told him you wanted to go slow and he just decided to not regard your feelings on the matter at all is a bit of a red flag. How experienced is he? I'd be willing to think this is a stupid mistake propagated by the porn he watches, but it's hard to tell. He's had like 3 other girlfriends and he's not a virgin. Eek, that's a big yikes. Though you did say that he's never been with a black girl, I'd say have a serious conversation with him to dispel whatever foolish preconceived notions he might have. Remind him that you are not a stereotype and be very clear about what you expect going forward. Communication is key. You are a virgin and you have every right to decide the terms of your first time. Edit, I feel the need to add. This is all separate of if you decide to try and sleep with him again. You can still have this conversation and try to dispel some of these toxic-ass ideas, but still tell him that you're not comfortable pursuing things further. Personally, I could understand why you might not want to stay with him. I hope this doesn't get lost in the pile. I see your update that you're going to hear him out. As many of the other replies have told you, this is not going to be a one-time occurrence in your relationship where his preconceived notions of black women will affect you negatively. If this relationship is to continue in a non-abusive way, he has to admit as such that he has some racist, toxic ideas and he needs to actively work to deconstructing every thought he has about race. It's a lifelong process and he needs to enter that journey willingly if he's to keep dating you or any other black woman. If you accept his apology and you accept his excuse that he's not racist, it was just an isolated incident. You are going to have a future of disappointment with him. I know this from experience. You deserve more. Don't waste your virginity on him, girl. I've never ever heard of black girls they like rough sex. Like what? That's insane. Stay empowered, queen, and remember you deserve to be treated with life and respect and not stereotyped. I'm black and I've definitely never heard of this stereotype. SMH. He's an asshole. Guy here. I don't think there can be any reasonable explanation for this. Your decision, but don't waste another second on this guy IMO. This should have never even possibly happened, and plenty of good guys out there for you. I'm sorry you experienced it all, let alone as a virgin. Girl, you are very lucky he showed his true face before you lost something so precious to someone so terrible. I was raped by a white guy when I told him I liked rough sex, so be careful. I'm black too. He didn't stop until I yelled out that I had peed, and I guess that grossed him out enough to stop, but not my being in pain. I hadn't peed though, so he just got back into it. It's disgusting to say this, but just be careful. I'm sorry. I hope you're doing better now, and I hope that guy is in prison. He sounds racist and sexualizing you for the color of your skin. He is not seeing you as an individual, but only your skin color. Run. WTF. That can't be a stereotype, right? That's the most racist thing I've ever heard. I am so sorry for you. Even together with the actual action of doing so without even asking or caring. Why he did not just ask once. You did just so good to stop him there. That was very good and strong. Stay that ground. Even if he's not willingly racist, if that works even, he's just really, really dumb. I watched on the clock. It's FCKN 2020. How can this happen even? I mean, if this is the most racist thing you've ever heard, I applaud you for being so sheltered. He doesn't respect black women. His behavior proved that. He has a lot of racism and misogyny to unpack, and you don't have to be his educator, savior, or do his emotional labor. Girl, run. I'm flabbergasted at the lack of concern in the comments. I hope Op sees this. This is too dangerous, especially for a first time. He doesn't sound like someone who's safe for you to be vulnerable with. He wasn't thinking about you at all, and was using your body to play out a racist fetish. That's so messed up. Please demand more for yourself than this. You deserve someone who loves and sees you, who wants to please you and be in the moment together. Instead, you've got someone who didn't get your consent to be rough, didn't check in with you, didn't notice you were uncomfortable, and was basically trying to use you as a blow-up doll. NTA. He's not the one. Get rid of him. He's a racist piece of shit. Your boyfriend is a racist. Yikes. Sorry, babe. Delete his number and block him. This makes me so sick. He was well aware you were a virgin preparing to take things slowly, but purposefully disregarded it, then was racist towards you. Holy shit. You deserve better. Good on you for standing up for yourself and getting him out of there. Wishing you the best. You may be the virgin, but he's not ready for sex. Acted confused. Assumed you would like it rough because you're black. Dump him in the nearest trash can. Although he's too toxic for a trash can. Sis, get out of that relationship. He is not your boyfriend. He saw you that a black woman an object and didn't bother even asking or checking with you. Salve yourself from the mental anguish. It's not our job as black women or minority to educate folks on racism. Google is free. Sweetie, don't talk to him. Block and delete. There are women of every race that enjoy rough sex. Those who don't, men who do and don't, etc. The fact that he thought you wanted it rough because you're black is a clue you are dealing with, one, a racist, and two, someone who fetishizes black women. Walk away. No, run. You can do better. Save yourself for someone who will treat you and your first time the right way. I've never heard of that stereotype, but it definitely sounds like this dude I'd watching a lot of porn and taking notes as if they're instructional videos. We let young dudes get socialized by that shit. Think about what you would do in his position. Now think about how you would feel if you did to someone what he did to you. You'd probably feel really guilty or something, right? Well, that tells you everything you need to know about him. He is lacking basic emotions and remorse and kindness. Wow. And wow. No, absolutely not. Especially your first time. I apologize that you had to experience sex like this the first time you have encountered it. Sex is and can be beautiful, and you weren't shown that. You are worth more. Why, yes. Your boyfriend has the IQ of a shovel. Sounds like you went out with a person of the clinical diagnosis moron. I would 110 dump him. Clearly, he thinks a certain way about black women already by bringing up a stereotype. I think it is best to end it while you can. Definitely dump. Anyone that actually acts on a racial stereotype, and on top of that registering that it is a racial stereotype, though I've never heard this one before, is a walking red flag IMO. Girl, never answer that phone. Block him and move on with life. Never in all my years of being a black woman have I ever heard that all black women must like rough sex, especially if the woman in question is a virgin. He's just a dumb and wasn't worthy of fucking in the first place. Preach. Women of color are fetishized as exotic and erotic from porn. Fucking shut that shit down when dude I was smitten with kept sliding in racist as pet names like curry cunt. Okay, mayonnaise man, my little whole milk cutie. They get real uncomfortable when you flip that shit on them, and acknowledge that we're already judged harshly for our skin tones. We don't need more of that shit, especially preconceived notions of what should pleasure us. Please take everyone's advice because him making you laugh doesn't negate his blatant lack of consideration for your body. You were a virgin. Your first time should be communicated as however pace you felt was best, and him having multiple partners prior should have meant that chuckle fuck would know how to please a woman. Or at the very least, understand that your first time is self-conscious and should be taken slowly. Be explorative. Any good man would listen to your concerns, stop behaviors you find uncomfortable, and be open to learning how to love a person of color. Because being black or brown ain't like we're fucking from Mars. We're people with rich culture history who have had struggles almost daily and second naturally related to racism. Is it our job to educate them when they can fucking Google in 2020 and be a little considerate? Yeah, nah, you gotta get out of this one. Next thing he'll be asking you to do some PRE Civil War reenactment. LMAO, it's the racist notion that we black people are hypersexual, insatiable lovers. Like we're just an animal in bed for the white man or anyone else. Really to use. This white dude told me he liked black guys better because our skin is soft and warmer than other races, and that black guys are usually more horny and want to fuck. I felt much the same then as you do now. Never expected to experience that firsthand. But I'm just a walking fetish to some people, lol. Hey, I got here late and I'm sorry. But I wanted to say that you don't have to listen to all the fuckheads telling you to give that racist abusive piece of shit another chance. I can't believe they read this same post and suggested you even give him the time of day after, let alone a chance to explain why he basically assumed black women enjoy rape. Holy shit, he was not worth your time, not by a long shot. You don't have to do anything and you don't owe him shit. If he wants to live his life judging people based on their skin and his wild porn fantasies, that's his problem. You need to take care of yourself and you get to decide the way you want others to treat you. That dude can fuck right off. You will find someone worthy of the amazing human you are. Don't let this bad experience weigh you down. At the very least, you now know just how strong you are, that you will stand up for yourself and you won't let a man tell you how to feel or be. That's something you can hold on to through all this and feel proud of. Oh, my dear, I am so sorry that this happened to you. You did not deserve this, and you did nothing wrong. The blame is 100 on his racism and racist stereotypes. Please don't think it's your responsibility to educate him. If he didn't interrogate the stereotype of black women like rough sex, is that even a common stereotype? Enough to even talk with you about it. He has a lot of learning and growing to do before I would trust him as a safe partner for you. There are plenty of men out there who will treat you the way you deserve to be treated. So please consider that before you spend any time being an educational experience for him. Take care. Honey, you deserve so much better than that. Get a new boyfriend who loves and treasures you for you and wants to go slow and be sweet. You don't need that. I think you need to think about why BF thinks forced sex with a POC is okay. And start thinking about getting far, far away from him. He's not thinking of you as a person, just what he's seen from porn. Get rid of him. Look at the history of black slaves owned by white people and you'll see where he got that idea. White supremacy is everlasting. Even in the unconscious mind, he didn't even care to ask you. He treated you like emotionless property. Wow, that is abusive and racist. Get the hell away from him. I'm so sorry that this happened to you. The people telling you how disappointed they are in you for not using this teachable moment to teach him not be racist can fuck all the way off. She did what you guys suggested. She talked about what happened with him. They couldn't come to an understanding, so she dumped him. The fuck are y'all mad about? That she didn't continue a relationship with this putz? Fuck out of here. You did what's best for you, op, and followed your intuition. I wish nothing but the best for you. I hope you find someone who loves and respects you. And for the putz, I hope he teaches himself how not to be a racist, or find someone willing to walk him through it. Anyone who says I thought all insert race, gender, nationality, etc. is either an idiot or grossly immature. Plain and simple. Before you are having intimate relations, your partner ought to be past stereotype impressions. He doesn't really know you well enough. Surely the two of you have not communicated enough. What do you like about him? He makes me laugh and is nice. I don't understand why he could ruin our relationship like this. Jesus. Run. What an awful man. I hope you break up with him. He is disgusting, honestly. He could have easily had a conversation with you about if you were into rough sex, but instead he chose to try and force rough sex on you. That is never okay. And you deserve so much better than him. I'm glad he listened when you told him no and left. Time to find a guy that actually values you. OP, seriously listen. That this is not normal or okay by any stretch. Your first time should be with someone who makes you feel safe and will ask Discus what you would like to try or do. Don't let him taint your perception of sex or devalue you or make incredibly ridiculous assumptions. Listen to top comments, please. Girl, dump his ass. He didn't give two shits. It was your first time. You'll regret it when you break up someday. Save it for someone who'll know and honor your worth, and thinks it's just as big of deal and special as you do, if not even more. CUS, you deserve that. Unless, of course, you want it to be the way he was trying to do. But in your case, that's pretty obvious. You didn't and don't. He could very well be using your race as an excuse for his actions. Similar to how people use the Bible for excusing being a piece of shit. Never have I ever heard a stereotype of black girls liking rough sex. Time to leave this situation. Bounce his ass. That's some low-key sucker shit. Where the hell did he get black women like it rough? He's a whole clown. I'd have a conversation with him and set his ass straight. Please leave him. This is a huge red flag. Don't give your virginity to that man. Losing my virginity wasn't something I was holding sacred myself, but I was 20, so a lot older than most of my friends when I lost it. But after hearing their stories, I just decided I'd rather hang back a little while and have my fist time with someone I trusted. You can go your entire life without having bad sex if you take things slow and look out for yourself, something you are already doing. Even if you forgive him and try again, your first time will be tainted. And you don't want to carry that into the entire rest of your sex life. Drop that, dude. You're young. He's an idiot. And by the sounds of things, terrible in bed. You're not going to marry this guy or anything. It's just a bullshit relationship which will end in the next few months probably anyway. Don't waste another second on this guy and don't let him be your first time with a creep sexual memory. You did the right thing asking him to leave. Just let him walk all the way out of your life. Have good sex with someone cool instead. Well, it's clearly racist, but it's definitely one of the weirdest examples of racism I've ever seen. My jaw literally dropped reading this. Wow, I'm so sorry. If that happened to me, I'd be traumatized. Please don't give your virginity to this man. Edit to say you deserve to be treated so much better. Leave. Also, understand that there will always be a gap between the two races in your lifetime, no matter how small or big. You seriously need to get rid of this boyfriend. There is something desperately wrong with him. If you don't believe me, a 67-year-old grandmother? Then ask your own mother. First time for the girl wants to do rough, not a smart young man. So did your parents teach you how to stand up for yourself like that? Because that was very impressive. You were right to hear him out and get clarification. Misunderstandings happen, and you were absolutely to boot him after the chat, but he was raised in a racist community, so give him a break. Mother of God, that's a bigger red flag than at a Chinese car dealer. I'm glad you let him go. I have a lot of friends from all over the place and all races, and I have never once heard that black girls like it rough. It sounds to me that this guy has a violent streak to him, and even after knowing you were a virgin, he still tried to rough you up. That's messed up. I'd worry less about his racism and more about his violent streak. The relationship has to end because this one ignorant mistake. Why are you old hags so dramatic? He doesn't deserve to get dumped because of one little incident. He didn't know any better because brain too young at 22. Look here, young men with little to no relationship or sexual experience, you have to be educated or get educated on your own time before you deem yourself available ready for a long-term, serious relationship. No, I'm not talking perfection, and relationships almost always end up teaching us some things. I'm talking the bare minimum. It is not up to your future female partner to teach you basic sex ed, female anatomy, or how to form your mouth to ask, what kind of things do you like, sex-wise, or what would you like to try? For the nth time, porn is not basic sex ed or representative of the average female or male body. It is not real life. Repeat this 3x to yourself every day. I'm sorry, but you've got some reading to do and educational diagrams to look at, not just porn vids and video games. Not if you want your relationships to stand a chance. If I knew the words purpose semicolon of testicles, ejaculation, scrotum, vas deferens, frenulum, foreskin at 14y0, and not from school never having been kissed or in a relationship with a boy, then the very least all of you could do is spend an hour one of these COVID days perusing the interwebs for real sex education, including contraception, birth control, communication, and consent. And then you can jerk off. Afterwards. Camera now. He should have known better way before age 22, and you know it. You're just embarrassed that you resonate with him. Instead of being embarrassed or defensive, go read. Instead of assuming what a whole less racist sex likes in bed, per your Pornhub bookmarks or the culture you grew up in, open your mouth before you even get in the bedroom and talk to her. Ask questions. Have a friggin' conversation. Please. He knowingly tried to have rough sex because of your race, and you being a virgin didn't cross his mind enough to try to make it special for you. Really seems like he wants to be way too in charge in the bedroom. I dunno him though. You do. Talk to him, voice your concerns. See if he is misguided or just an asshole. Either way, be safe. Black girls have been and always will be seen as sexual objects. You happen to cross someone who fell into this stereotype trap. If you feel at 20 that he is worth the effort, and he seemed genuinely contradoremiful, then maybe give him a chance. But if you were my child, I'd tell you to steer clear of him. Not because he was ignorant enough to believe a stereotype, but because he didn't even have compassion for you as a virgin. That says more about him than anything. I get brainwashing, but we all have our inner moral compass that can be put to use even in private. Always will be seen as sexual objects. No, that's got to change. And this is exactly why the fetishization of WOC is such a problem. I'm so sorry that this was your experience, hun. Good for you for being assertive though, and making it clear you wanted to stop. That's just racism. And you don't assume someone is into rough sex based on race or not based on race. It involves a serious conversation, and he just jumped the gun and nearly committed a serious crime. I'm glad he stopped when you said no. I don't think this relationship will be healthy if you continue to see him. And the fact that he knows you're a virgin and yet still assumed you were into getting rough just makes no sense. He's an ass. Just run. This dude is a pose. What virgin wants it rough? If guy that cared about you, he wouldn't even think that? He'd be thinking of this special moment he gets to share with you, not making you out to be some porn star. Oh, my Jesus Christ. This is a massive warning sign. No, how in the FCKIing world did he come up with a disrespectful method? Did you ask him? Op? I'm in shock mode and all I can think is throw him out and start over someone who doesn't have these hang-ups to add to the relationship. I'm so sorry that you had to experience that. Dude watches the kind of porn where white people have sex with black people and call them the N-word. Brew, dump his racist ass. Kick that one to the curb. Do not have sex with this person. I think that whilst the social origins of this kind of shittiness are a particularly complex, albeit vile issue, I think to apply even the most basic of this reasoning to this douchebag almost gives him too much credit. He is fuckwit who learned his steps from porn in this case, racist and misogynistic porn. Whoever he slept with, it's safe to assume he would have been fucking terrible, given his utter lack of empathy. Bin the boy. Find someone that sees you and makes your experience the center of theirs. Please end this and find you someone who really cares. Break up with him. Kick him in the crotch. And when he says, WTF? Why you do that? Tell him you thought idiots like to be kicked in the crotch. Translation complete. You don't deserve to feel like this. I'm sorry, girl. Good God. Dump this dude. This is horrifically racist. Holy shit. There are so many layers of ignorance that I can't even begin to find the words to describe it. I am so sorry you had to go through that. Based on what you've told us, he is definitely not the right person to have sex with, especially to have sex with for your first time. He clearly doesn't respect you or your boundaries. He did not ask for consent from you about whether you wanted rough sex. Staying in a relationship with him would be unsafe. I have never heard of this stereotype. I would assume everyone would be nervous their first time and would want to be gentle. Please, don't feel bad for not responding. He did wrong. It's not a porn thing. Even if it was, he should be smart enough to realize porn things are not real and you don't do them in sex. If he's dumb enough to not realize porn is fake and not to copy it, then bullet dodged. It doesn't matter where he saw it, it's not okay. He should be smart enough to know that your race doesn't determine anything about your preferences. He's extremely immature and or ignorant if he doesn't realize skin color isn't a reason to assume anything. It doesn't matter if he thought it was a positive stereotype. What other things does he think about you because of your race? Big red flag. None of the above matter if he knew you were a virgin. You said he has experience and he's old enough to know better. It's your first time. Nothing else matters. Go slow. You want someone who cares about your experience and it doesn't sound like he's capable. I couldn't imagine doing that to someone on their first time, knowing no matter how gentle you are, it will still be uncomfortable or powerful, and then being rough anyway. Asshole. There are too many red flags here. Personally, I wouldn't worry about why he did it. I would just move on. I know it's a joke that everyone on Reddit says just break up, but some of these are serious red flag deal breakers. If you want to take the time and work through it and help him understand, more power to you, but I wouldn't be interested in teaching a partner to not be racist and be considerate in bed. Deal breakers for me. None. If this is your fault, none of that is acceptable and normal. You didn't do anything to suggest it was okay. Lots of guys get ideas from porn, but that doesn't make it okay or normal. You deserve much better treatment. I will give him credit where he earned it. He stopped when you told him to. He left when you asked him to. He listened to what you said. Those are the minimum expectation, but unfortunately can't always be expected. No, girl, dump his ass. He's a grown adult and should have known better. Dump him. As a black girl myself, we need to make sure we are in safe, caring, well-protected relationships. There are so many guys who will treat you like shit because you're black and pretend to care. We don't need any of that ever. I wish you the best. I'm not sure what country you are in, but I'm from the US and I've never heard this stereotype. But either way, get rid of him. Any guy who thinks a stereotype supersedes what you have vocalized has no business having sex with you, let alone taking your virginity. Holy Christ. He has 100 fetishized you. I can imagine it would be hard to even know if he actually likes you or if he's just wanting to sleep with a black chick. Do not sleep with him. This guy knew you were a virgin and went straight to trying to fuck you roughly, with not even any foreplay. Rough or not, foreplay is a thing. The guy just didn't give a fuck and just saw you as something to claim and conquer. Probably find you being a virgin to him is just another tick of his list. This is not a stereotype I've ever heard before, and I come from an asshole, idiotic, racist family. This is likely not the only racist stereotype in his head. If you proceed, do it very carefully. That's enough right there for me to suggest you move on. I have many thoughts about the fuck-youpness of this, and none of them are that you should talk this out. Oh my gosh, please walk on from this asshole to someone better. That's so awful. I'm so sorry. I have been through the same. It is fucking wild. What some men will convince themselves is true. Please be careful out here, my girl.